Currently, I'm standing here with IFBB Pro and Team Gaspari athlete Kenneth Jackson. We're here at the Team Universe Championships in Teaneck, New Jersey. Kenneth is coaching some clients. He's here to support some friends, and you're also 4 weeks out from your next pro competition, correct?
Yes, the Golden State's in Sacramento.
Okay. So far, you've only done one pro show since you turned pro in 2011. Is that right?
No, I did two. So I did Toronto Pro last year, and then I came back 4 weeks later, and did Chicago Pro.
Okay. So let me know, how did those experiences go for you, and what did you learn, take away from those that you're going to improve on, so we're going to see a different Kenneth Jackson this time?
I guess my first experience from last year was over dieting and coming in too small. Yeah. I weighed in less than what I weighed in when I wrote my pro card at the Toronto show, and then came back 7 pounds heavier, so I was a little bit bigger for the Chicago Pro show. But I think what I took home from that was I got to conserve muscle. You know, my legs were too small. I lost my back, which is one of my best attributes. So I got with John Meadows, and we kind of went back to the drawing board, and basically he made me eat, you know, fed me a bunch of carbs, and in the off season I really didn't get bigger than 265. So I was kind of worried about that, but he's like, Ken, trust me, you'll be bigger on stage than you were last year. Just trust me. So I did trust the process, and right now I'm sitting at 244.
Very nice. Now, I've seen a little bit of the videos. I'm sure the guys in MD, we've seen stuff, I believe it was a back training video we had on there about a month ago with John Meadows and so forth. How often do you get to train with John? I know you're not that close to him, geography-wise, and what is different about his style of training compared to what you've done in the past?
I get down to see John about once or twice a month. It's only about a 4-hour drive, so it's, you know, not that long for me. His style of training is, he's pushed my body in a rep range I've never worked before. Like, you know, he's 6, 8, 9, 10 reps. You know, sometimes we might go crazy and might do like a tri-set where we're going, you know, failure, 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 but his rep range is a lot smaller, and I increased a lot of my reps and PRs and a lot of my movements. You know, I'm training like with chest, you know, around with 495, you know, 445 on the incline, things like that. I'm rowing, you know, the 175s, you know, for 6 to 8 reps. And a lot of, like right now, what he's doing like a lot of iso holds or partial reps. So those are kind of the different things that I've done with him than I did in the past.
Yeah. Now, I know, you know, for any pro bodybuilder, for any bodybuilder competing at a high level, condition is always the key. Condition, when you turn pro, was obviously great. You don't turn pro with bad condition. You've sort of had your ups and downs. I know you've had different coaches, and what are you doing now? Are you doing your own prep? Are you working with somebody new?
No, John's doing my training and my prep, so he's doing everything. I was working with Neil, and it wasn't the fact that I think that it wasn't working with Neil. I just think Neil was extremely busy, and you know, Neil's traveling all around the world, and he flexes one of his athletes. So I just think that I needed a lot more personal attention. And that's what I'm getting from John. You know, I'm getting a lot more attention. Like I drive down there, stay at his house, you know, for a couple days, and then drive back. So I think that's the difference. I'm just getting a lot more personalized, one-on-one attention. You know, I'm that, and a lot of people say, well, do you need that? I don't need that. I just think that in this business, especially when I have my own athletes, have my own business, I think that if I have a plan, you know, that's specific for me, yeah, it's just easier for me.
Well, you brought up an interesting point. You know, you prep athletes, and a lot of people these days work with coaches, probably the majority of competitors in all the divisions now. You hear something all the time. Some people think you can judge physiques and the condition week by week going by pictures. Some people say, no, I think you have to be there in person. Where do you fall on that?
I got to be in person because I look way better in person than I do in pictures. I know for sure because I've done it both. You know, I've done Skype, I've done pictures, and I just feel that, you know, John seeing me, you know, a couple times a month compared to seeing pictures, I think it's just better. Because it also probably he sees my pictures every 3-4 days, but then sees me a couple times a month, and I think it just basically justifies what he's seeing in those pictures. So it helps him attack. Okay, Ken, we're going to do this, or we're going to stick with this. Ken, I want to drop your oatmeal. I want to drop your glycofuse. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I think that has helped immensely. Like I said, I'm 244. I'm the leanest I've ever been. I'm the hardest I've ever been. I think this will be the best package I've ever brought to a stage since bodybuilding.
These are the last 2 shows before the Olympia, so theoretically could have a few guys jumping in who haven't yet qualified. But it's also a good opportunity because, most of the shows have already happened, so a lot of guys already got their qualifications. I mean, what do you hope to get out of this experience? Obviously, we all train to win. What do you want to do? Is it mainly showing improvements? What's your goal for these two shows?
My goal for these two shows is me versus me. I just want to be better than I was last year. I want to be the best I've ever been. If that allows me to Olympia qualification, great. If it doesn't, all I want out of these two shows is especially working with John, is to show that improvement. Yeah. Big improvement. I want to be heavier. I want to be harder. A lot of people in the industry, just like yourself, have said, Ken Jackson could be harder. His glutes could be harder. I want to show that I can be that athlete that all the guys are saying that I should be. So I think with John, working with John, I think I'll obtain that.
Excellent. Yeah, obviously at your level, there's so many amazing physiques. What's it going to come down to? A lot of times it's just condition. Yeah. And you see these big shows in the judging, and especially the pro shows, it's got to be so tough to judge you guys. And if I was sitting there on the judging table, if someone's not in that condition, that's it. I'd move them to the side just because it's too much to focus on otherwise. So, I wish you the best. I want to see you in that shredded condition. I want to see the Kenneth Jackson I know you can be. Yeah. And I think I will. Let's hope so. Yeah. All right. Kenneth Jackson, Ron Harris for Team MD. We're out.